Let's be clear about one thing right from the start. Nostradamus didn't scribble his prophecies on parchment just to entertain the curious. He was a man burdened by visions, compelled to share them with a world that wouldn't understand him for centuries. A physician by profession, an astrologer by obsession, and a poet of prophecy by divine calling, Michel de Nostradamus wasn't just predicting plagues or wars. He was outlining spiritual maps, coded messages pointing to people, patterns, and protections most of us are still trying to decode. And if you think he didn't touch on the topic of divine favor, think again. What if I told you Nostradamus not only foresaw the fates of empires, but also subtly indicated which among us might walk life's path, shielded by an invisible hand, protected, watched over, not free of suffering, but divinely guided through it? And according to many interpreters of his enigmatic verses, 6 zodiac signs fall under this unique canopy of celestial favor. These signs aren't just lucky, they're guarded. But before we dive into the countdown, let's be clear about what we mean by God's protection. It's not a life of endless success or a constant string of wins. No, divine favor, according to ancient mystics like Nostradamus, looks more like resilience, guidance, and transformation. It's not about being untouchable, it's about being unbreakable. So let's start uncovering the 6 zodiac signs Nostradamus is believed to have identified as living under God's protection all their lives. Number 6, Virgo, the diligent perfectionist. What makes Virgo stand out isn't just their intelligence or analytical mind, though those are certainly gifts. It's the fact that they carry a quiet resilience wrapped in humility. They don't need to boast, they just do. They correct, they serve, they heal. Nostradamus's verses often speak of the healers of nations and those who wield knowledge like a scalpel, an eerie match for Virgo's defining traits. When life gets chaotic, Virgo becomes the calm in the storm. They aren't the loudest, but they're often the most essential. Divine protection doesn't manifest for them as luck. It's precision. They are guided by an inner compass that rarely fails. They may doubt themselves, but the universe doesn't. There's a reason they're often the ones you call in a crisis. They are protected because they are protectors. They fix what others fear to face. And spiritually speaking, Virgo is aligned with the archetype of the sacred servant. In a world that glorifies ego, they live humbly, often suffering silently. But as Nostradamus alluded, there is great strength in the silent. The universe conspires to keep them standing, even when they feel like falling. Number 5. Leo. The lion doesn't beg for recognition, it commands it. Leo, the bold heart, isn't just about pride or theatrics. Nostradamus mentions symbols of royal lineage, of celestial rulers who rise in fire, in command and compassion. That's Leo. It's easy to assume that Leos are self-made. In reality, many of them are born with an inexplicable sense of destiny. And here's the thing, they often are. Divine protection for Leo is loud and visible. It's the kind of blessing that surrounds them when they're speaking in public, leading a team, or standing up for the underdog. They carry a spark others can't quite define. They bounce back from failures like they were rehearsals. They rise, not because they're lucky, but because they are chosen to lead, to light the path for others. Nostradamus hinted at fiery kings with golden voices. Poetic, yes, but unmistakably in line with Leo's essence. The divine doesn't shield them from struggle, but it gives them a stage to turn their wounds into wisdom. Their lives are marked not just by success, but by inspiration. Even when they fall, they do so dramatically and rise even more grandly. 4. Capricorn is proof that God's protection isn't always soft or obvious. It's forged in struggle. Nostradamus spoke of the stone carvers who walk through iron winters. A nod, many believe, connects to the Capricorn spirit. The mountain goat keeps climbing, regardless of the storms. Capricorns don't just endure, they elevate. What's truly divine about a Capricorn isn't just their ambition, it's their tenacity. They live with the weight of responsibility from a young age. And while others are still finding themselves, Capricorn is building themselves, slowly, methodically. They are not gifted with shortcuts, but they are gifted with endurance. Divine favor shows up for them in timing. Things may not come fast, but they come right. Capricorns are often the ones who succeed later in life after decades of effort. And when they do, it's as if the universe steps aside and lets them pass. Nostradamus' mention of keepers of the laws of man and heaven may well point to Capricorn, the natural builders of systems, traditions, and legacies. Their protection is structural. It's in the invisible foundations they lay early in life. They are watched over because they carry the burden of stability, not just for themselves, but for generations. Number 3, Taurus. Taurus may surprise some people on this list, but Nostradamus' references to the guardians of the Earth's roots paint a clear picture. Taurus isn't just about luxury and sensuality, it's about foundation, fertility, and staying power. In a world of chaos, Taurus is the anchor. They are patient, sometimes to a fault, but that patience is their power. While others chase, Taurus attracts. While others react, Taurus endures. The divine protection over Taurus isn't loud. It's consistent. It's the kind of safety that shows up as a roof over their head, food in the pantry, and a love that lasts. They are protected because they represent preservation. Nostradamus knew that after the fire, after the flood, someone must rebuild. Taurus is that someone. And because of that role, they are kept steady, nurtured by the same forces they themselves nurture. Even when they are tested through heartbreak, loss, or betrayal, they bounce back with even deeper roots. It's no wonder they are associated with the earth itself. When storms come, the trees with the deepest roots stand tallest. Taurus is that tree. Second, Aries, bold, fearless, and often misunderstood. Aries is the warrior of the Zodiac, and Nostradamus wrote of those who charge against the darkness with only light in their eyes. That's Aries. They don't wait for permission. They move, they act, they break through. Divine protection for Aries is movement. It's as though the universe clears the path just as they're about to sprint into it. They may stumble, but they rarely stay down. Aries individuals are gifted with courage, but more importantly, they are often divinely shielded when they leap into the unknown. They don't think like others, and that's by design. The world needs revolutionaries, and Aries is here to light the first match. Their protection doesn't mean they don't face danger. It means they often walk away from it stronger than ever. Many Aries stories are filled with close calls, narrow escapes, or sudden moments of clarity just when everything seemed lost. That's not coincidence, that's favor. Nostradamus understood that the world would always need fire starters, and those who carry that fire must be watched over. Number 1, Sagittarius. And here we are, at the top of the list. Sagittarius, the seeker, the philosopher, the divine adventurer. Nostradamus' writings are filled with themes of pilgrimage, of distant lands, and of the archer whose arrows always find the truth. There's no clearer parallel than Sagittarius. What sets them apart isn't just curiosity, it's faith. Sagittarius believes, not blindly, but expansively. They chase meaning the way others chase money, and in that chase they are often shielded. How many Sagittarians can tell stories of miraculous timing, uncanny coincidences, and paths that unfolded exactly when they needed them? They are protected because they carry a message, because they remind the world to keep moving, to keep questioning, and to never settle for surface-level living. Their optimism isn't naivety, it's divinely inspired courage. Nostradamus, in his obscure but intentional verses, spoke of the one who walks freely beneath the stars, laughing in the language of gods. That's Sagittarius, always searching, always believing, and always walking just a few steps ahead of danger. The universe doesn't just protect them, it partners with them. So whether you're a Virgo building quietly behind the scenes, a Leo shining brightly in front of the crowd, or a Sagittarius wandering into the unknown with a smile on your face, know this: the forces Nostradamus believed in, the ones that whisper guidance through dreams and visions, may just be guiding you too. And if your sign is on this list, remember, it's not about having an easier life. It's about having a higher purpose. You're not just lucky, you're protected, you're chosen,